Hey everybody, it's Josh Suv, aka Ask Joshy on YouTube, and here we have Game 2 from this round of 64, best of 3 between SLush, the orange Zerg, way over here on the left side of Lost Temple, and CheckPrime, the Korean Zerg player, over here on the right. This is the round of 64, like I said, for the Global Gamers Invitational, sponsored by iFixit.com, they're SCVs for the real world, ESUnited.net, they're hosting a lot of these VODs that we're posting here on ICCup TV, and thehandsomernerd.com, supplying some of our players with some very nerdy t-shirts that I'm sure they will enjoy. So go check all those sponsors out. They're supplying over $3,500 worth of prizes for this Global Gamers Invitational, and these are actually just the qualifying rounds. The final round of 16 will have only 12, they'll actually have 12 invitees, and only 4 of these qualifiers will have a chance to make it in. So SLush or Check going to be knocked out here. Check is actually up 1-0 at the moment, so if he can win this game, he will be able to knock SLush out of the qualifiers completely. And we'll just have to see how this game goes. And I do believe the loser picked the map. SLush, being the loser of that first game, picked Lost Temple again, so he's going to have a chance to gain the advantage here on Check by doing better than he did the last game. He fell just a little bit behind in his speed upgrades and Baneling Nest, and it looks like he did the extractor trick so that he could get just one more drone going and be able to spend that larva efficiently, whereas CheckPrime, his name is actually Check, he's a member of Team Prime, but he loves putting his clan name into his actual name. SLush, on the other hand, is a member of Root Gaming over in North America. Very, very good Zerg player. Actually, both of these guys, of course, are very good. And yeah, what do we got going on here? Check scouting around a couple of the wrong places. After that Overlord and drone failed to find anything, he has narrowed it down that SLush is over here on the left side of the map, and SLush actually doing pretty much the same. He sent a drone up here and Overlord over here, so he knows where Check is. They both know exactly where the other player is. Now it's just a matter of trying to beat them into the ground. And Check doing something interesting here, sending 2 drones along with his first 6 speedlings, 6 Zerglings rather, and these 2 drones, the only purpose I can imagine them having going over here, and especially since this 3rd drone is already here, is to do some offensive spine crawlers, and there he does. Oh my goodness. And I have not watched these games. I do not know how this is going to work out. Never seen this done successfully in a pro game. I have seen it done successfully in ladder games because players can be really terrible in ladder games. 3 spine crawlers coming up for Check. Wow, SLush is really going to have to get busy with those Zerglings and Queen to kill off as many as he can. It looks like Check is going to cancel 2 of them and start to run away, but trying to get this 3rd spine crawler finished. They take a really long time to build, 50 normal seconds, a little bit less in the real time, but ends up canceling that as well. So Check losing 3 drones and a couple of lings there. Actually only losing 2 drones. He does escape with 1, as we see here in the middle, but still basically wasting those resources, having to cancel. Has not been building drones at all this whole time. If we check units, Check is behind on the drone count and ahead, actually way behind on ling count. I'm getting my colors confused here a little bit. ZVZ matches tend to do that to me. So SLush in very good position here after stopping that spine crawler rush, basically doing a very good job to build a 10 pool this time instead of that delayed hatch and then 14 pool. So both players doing the same strategy 2 games in a row, neither player expanding this time around. It's not the same strategy, obviously, because Check did the crazy spine crawler offensive and failed, but both 10 pooled this time to get lings out very quickly, and SLush going to try and take his advantage as soon as possible with his superior ling count here. He has 10 to Check's 4, but there is a spine crawler down for Check, so he might be able to defend this long enough. SLush actually back at his base getting a Roach Warren put down too, so if the Zerglings aren't successful, they'll at least be able to contain Check long enough for SLush to expand if he chooses to, and these lings can just sit out there and wait for Check to make a move. Check just making some more drones now, getting a Roach Warren for himself as well, but SLush way ahead on that Roach Warren, already getting some roaches in these eggs. Basically not doing anything with these lings, he's just biding his time, making sure that Check is behind at all times. Getting a great surround there on that Queen, though. The Queen had nowhere to go, not enough lings to protect his backside, so SLush, very good for him to be able to take out that Queen, just pulling into the lead even further. No more egg spits for Check for the time being. He's going to have to make another Queen. It's already training, but this Roach Warren nearly finished. However, it looks like, no, I was a little bit wrong. I was looking at the mini-map, thought I saw some Roach movement. But they are just hanging out at SLush's bases until he gets some more on the field. He's going to try and take out this Roach Warren, and I think he might be able to do it. Since the Spinecrawler is out of position and there are not enough Lings to fight these off, I'm not sure if Check's going to be able to fight it off at all. He's getting 2 roaches on the field here. SLush still has not shown up with his own roaches. Queen now on the field too, so Check might be able to repel this finally with a roach, a queen, and a Spinecrawler. The Roachhorn is going to stay alive. SLush looks like he's going to back off, probably do well to keep those Lings here on this natural expansion area just in case this game does get dragged out a little bit. SLush here with 7 roaches on the field, and Check just trying to make as many as he can. Also getting that second extractor up. He does have plenty of money right now for some roaches, so maybe looking to transition to something here quickly, or at least get a lair up so he can get these roach upgrades. And what is SLush doing? He's got some Lings hanging out in kind of a weird spot down here. Has not done any Ling speed. Looks like he's going to focus just on roaches and get a lair up for himself as well as that second gas so he can get some upgrades. And basically we've hit a bit of a lull after SLush taking that advantage and not being able to capitalize on it and win the game. Baneling Nest now coming up for Check. Both players basically trying to get their econs up and running. SLush still in an advantage in tech and economy, so should be able to keep pressing that advantage. He's at 58 food to Check's 42. Check now starting to mobilize a little bit with some Lings and roaches across the field. He is going to find these Lings of SLush at the Xel'Naga Tower. SLush has them on hold position though, so he's going to lose a couple of them basically needlessly to these roaches. However, the Lings are going to be able to escape from these very slow roaches. And what do we have here? SLush is hanging out on the cliff here. Not sure what he's expecting over on this cliff. He might as well have them at the ramp. I'm not sure really what that rally point is about. Actually, he's not even rallying them. They're sending them there manually. So maybe he's basically just waiting for Check to move in, expecting him to come in with these roaches, and then going to flank him. Actually, I really like this now that I understand what he's doing. These roaches move a little bit faster. They are going to get some drone kills, but SLush able to pin these roaches in. They're not going to be able to escape now. Baneling's coming in for Check. Not going to do much to these very well-armored roaches with their high HP. They are going to kill some drones, though. SLush looks like he just has a ton of units on the field, and Check reduced to basically nothing. Check actually going to back off with his remaining 4 roaches, whereas SLush has a ton of roaches. He's got, 23 on the field, 22 on the field with a couple of Zerglings in tow. Also got these Zerglings from earlier, regenning back to full, basically. What is Check able to do back at his base? Nothing. He's going to get his lair morphing, but not teching anything, basically only able to make a couple of roaches at a time while SLush makes his death march across the field. Check actually hid his 4 roaches behind these brush, waited for SLush to move out of his base, and now he's going to hit the mineral line here. I have a feeling, though, that SLush is going to get the benefit of this exchange. 4 roaches will not do nearly as much damage as 22 and some Lings, so he's sending in the Lings first to make sure Check has nothing hiding in his base, no Banelings ready to wail on his guys, but he's able to pull all his drones off and avoid these 4 roaches. These drones could run indefinitely from the roaches just because they're so slow. On the other hand, he is killing off the roaches here of Check over in his main. Going to be able to take those out easily, and Check forced to GG just through a series of lost battles, basically, and losing that initial offensive. SLush doing a good job to win Game 2. So now we're going to move on to Game 3 of this Zerg versus Zerg between SLush and Check.